So, namaste to each one of you, and a very, very good morning to each one. I'm so happy and delighted to be there with my team and introducing Team Cesta to each one of you. So, without taking much of your time, yesterday you listened to Anushri's story, whose journey started recently. Today, you're going to hear the stories of people who have been with us for a few years now. So let us start and hear their stories. So there are two, three people today. Let us see who is going to speak first. Is Mansi there?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So let us first take Mansi on the platform. Because people have come to listen to your story and not my story, your journey of transformation. So I would rather keep quiet and let people listen to you all. One of the most dedicated student I can always say, and such a brilliant transformation I have witnessed in her in last few years that it is beyond words for me to describe it. I mean, it is her persistency for last few years which has changed entire dynamics of life for her. So, Mansi, the platform is all yours. You are a person who have banged it in the life and you have taken charge of life, and we are very, very proud of you for that. So, platform is all yours. People, everybody is waiting to listen to your story.
Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am, for this warm welcome and, these kind words. It feels proud to hear appreciation from you. So thank you so much for that. And good morning, everyone. Just a pleasant morning. Please excuse me. This is the first time, I am speaking in front of such a huge audience. So please excuse me for that. And so without wasting time, I will just start about my journey. I had always been inclined towards the word healing. What healing means? I didn't know what it means, but I always wanted to learn since ever since I remember. I came across a word Theta from a book of Shivi Dua, and she had mentioned that healed her daughter asthma with Theta. So that's when I started my research on Theta, and I came across a couple of healers in Mumbai, but Richa and Ma'am were the only one I was able to connect to. I didn't even see them. I didn't even meet them. I just had a call with Richa, and she was about to start in another next month with advanced, basic, advanced, and big deeper. And without giving a second thought, I just enrolled for it. So back then, so I'm coming, so I'll just give you a background. I come from a middle class family and I'm a self-made woman. So it's like, since very young childhood, I have started earning for myself. And, deciding for such a big amount was, I think it was just a message which I got at that time, I didn't know it was intuition or divine or what. But I trusted my instinct and I just invested in myself without giving that second thought. But that thing has changed my life totally. So it's been 3 years. I am into this journey of Theta and B with Cesta. And I think this is an ongoing journey throughout my life for me and also for my daughter. Because the education we get here, no school teaches this. No school, there's no institution out there which teaches in this deep real life experiences and the knowledge which we have. So in class, when I sit, I even if I have to go to washroom, I take my phone and go like I don't even want to miss that single word what ma'am is talking. I'm that attentive. I have never been that great in my, that attentive in my entire educational studies. But this is something which really holds me tight. Uh, One thing is like, despite of all the financial issues which I had, uh, I never stopped my journey. I believed that come what may, I know everything will be arranged. I'm not going to stop my learning journey in Theta and B. My mindset to start learning was I wanted to become a healer. I still want to, but that mindset was very different where I wanted to start it as a business and leave my job because I have a toddler. So that's when, but when I started learning, I thought, okay, this is very deep. It is not that, you do two class and you can say, okay, you can say I'm a healer, but it requires a lot of knowledge, a lot of responsibility comes with that. So then I decided, since this is my passion, I will continue my job, but I will continue my learning journey as well. I'll not stop there. I did intuitive, and that was a 360-degree shift for me. I was a firm believer that I don't get messages in my initial classes. So for 1 and a half year, I would say whoever would have worked with me, they know I would be like this in class. Oh my God, I can't see anything, ma'am. And I used to feel I'm doing half work, at least on the person with whom I'm working. I never used to get that self satisfaction because I had so much of blocking beliefs myself. It was my inner fear who was blocking me that you are not good enough to heal anybody or you can get messages from the divine. You don't deserve that. Despite of all this, I didn't stop. I hardly got messages in my intuitive, but yes, after intuitive, I had a beautiful shift, a beautiful transformation in terms of getting messages. My manifestation had shifted, my intuition has shifted, and moving forward, I did my intuitive in 2019 and 2020. I repeated my dig deeper, I repeated my be healthy, be happy, which ma'am was teaching because there was no other class which was coming up. And I was like, ma'am, I want to do some class. And she was like, Mansi, this is coming up because every class is a major shift. Major shift. You're repeating or you're doing it for the first time. The cleanse which you get in one class, you won't get that emotional cleanse anywhere else. It's amazing. And from 2020 to 2021, I completed my 5 classes. And last I did was being you. That was another, like, I would say I'm short of words to express. Just after first day of the class, early morning, I had a very big point of realization in my life because I was always coming from a place of self-doubt, despite of doing very good. So in last 3 years or 4 years, I would say, I have had 200% to 300% increase in my pay. I'm working with a very good organization. I'm working with Axis Bank at this moment at the senior manager position in technology, and my graduation is only in BCom. So all this has been possible, of course, with my belief in myself to an extent, and also with my journey in healing, because I've never stopped that. And today, and when I was in being you, I had always had that self-worth issues and self-doubt and self-belief issues to a greater extent, where I used to feel underconfident. I don't get messages, I don't get answers, I am not able to heal people, etc., etc. And when I there are very deep exercises which ma'am has mentioned in being you class. I mean, those questions kept me thinking that whole day. They're just 25 questions, but they are so powerful. It just keeps you like, who are you? You don't know. I was unable to sleep that whole night peacefully. I woke up, I think, 4:30 in the morning. 3 hours, I was just, doing my work, understanding myself, and I went to the root where it started. It had come from a very major heartbreak in 6 years back, which I was still holding on to. The hurt from that relationship, which never came up in any of the sessions. I thought I had completely resolved. I thought I had completely moved on. But the damage which I had done to my own self was irreparable all 6 years, because I know what I have gone through all 6 years. I know what I have been feeling inside all 6 years, and that shifted with this class. So I am very, very, very grateful to ma'am for she being so supportive in me, helping me arrange my finances, as in, like, it's okay. you can pay however you want to. And she has been so trustworthy in me, and with a belief that despite of everything, I know this is going to stay with me. And now I have decided to enroll for my graduate program. Sorry, master's program. I get a little confused with that, but the master's program which we have. Sorry, just a moment. My daughter is here. Sorry for this. So, and I would request like whoever is wishing to start their journey, trust me, you will not get the kind of education, the kind of assistance, the kind of knowledge which Sangeeta ma'am and Richa has is, it's like I have no words to express. It's that beautiful. It's that deep. So my journey with Cesta has been very, very beautiful. I'm very grateful that I found them, and I really see a mother figure in her because she has always been so giving. She has always been so calm, so understanding, so compassionate. She knows, when, even if she's like, she'll take that scale in the hand and you know where she's coming from, and it's for your good. So it's, thank you, ma'am. Thank you, Richa. Thank you so much, Team Sasta. I've got this confidence to speak also is because of you.
Thank you, Mansi. You actually put
Thank you,
tears
ma'am.
in my eyes because not Axis Bank, like even I have seen her journey of transformation in her work, her relationships, her health, every aspect, and the commitment with which you have done is fabulous. Yeah,
Thanks to you, ma'am.
no, I mean, I genuinely bow down to you for that.
This confidence for you to speak itself is such a big thing. Seeing you talk on a public platform and expressing so beautifully is something that just speaks eons about your journey, and that comes from your dedication. And we're just so happy to have you as a part of the Sesta team.
Thank you so much, Richa. I was really procrastinating for this one. I was like, I would be able to do this since ma'am told. I was like, it is not. I said yes, ma'am. I want to do it, but there was an inner chatter in me, like Marcy, you have to speak. How will you do it? But I was like, no, come watch me. This is my time to show my gratitude towards my team and my family, which is very, very close to me, and which has really changed my life, which nobody has done so far. Nobody has stood by me so strong as a pillar, as a support, and told me, Mansi, we believe in you. That's what you guys have done, and that means a lot. Without you
I
even
think
knowing me in person.
beyond gratitude, I feel like so many people here, the idea of this week also, so many people here are in a similar place where we all feel like certain shifts are beyond us. Talking on a public platform is beyond us. And I think each one of you sharing inspires them to a great extent. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mansi. Who would like to come next?
Me,
Who said me? Himali.
Himali.
Yeah. Hi, Himali, because your sound I can recognize from anywhere. Please come on the platform.
Okay, I'm so glad to be here. Thank you so much for having us here. I would like to start with a little prayer on this Guru Purnima week, which is Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Um, Purnima is actually a full moon, right? Which means wholeness. And to me, a teacher is also somebody who is extremely whole and complete. And out of the wholeness, they create more wholeness and create all the completeness The incompleteness that we have within us gets completed by the teacher. And from us, then we become so capable that we can actually create something else which is also complete. And it is a journey from a teacher to a student to another student, and it goes on. And to me, Cesta is just that. You go there incomplete, you go there. Actually, when I went there, I thought I was complete. I went there saying that, hey, I have nothing to learn. That coming from having everything in my life, I didn't think there was a need to learn anything. But when I went there, I realized, and I went there for a very pretty thing. I went there for like getting my daughter's admission sorted. And then I remembered, oh, but I have this dream, and which never leaves me. And within the first 2 or 3 classes or sessions, it's just disappeared. And I was like, this can't happen. It's not true. And but I realized that I needed to evolve so much more. I mean, what I was very beautiful, and I respect that completely. But from there, and I've been with Cesta for I think 9, 10 years, Sunita, quite a long time. I can't remember how long now, really long. I can't believe my life without Sangeeta and Richa in it, absolutely. But I realized that there was so much to learn. There was so much to learn and grow from. Not only grow and learn from, there was this entire dictionary of words, entire unknown territory of life which existed, which I didn't know. The planes of existence that I was a part of, in every way, from my from the microcosm to the macrocosm, I didn't even realize actually existed. I didn't even know that there is life beyond humans and animals and plants, and all that was just told in stories and puranas is actually true. It was weird to learn that. It was weird to learn that all is oneness. It was weird. I mean, I'm a staunch Vedanta student as well, but the way you experienced it, the way you understood that oneness is beyond even the word God. And I remember Sangeeta always saying, say God, say creator, say whatever you want, it's all one. And that it just strikes something within you, and it's like, yeah, you're right, it's all one. Why am I thinking God or creator or whatever? Not only that, Sesta has also taught us how to live a fulfilled life. Fulfilled life with bringing fulfillment to others and finding joy in others' joys. Like for hours and hours to sit and dig deep into somebody, and all that we hear in classes, dig deeper, dig deeper, dig deeper. And we're like, really, like deeper than this? Is there anything? Can there be anything else? And you realize that when somebody else's turn is there, you're like, yeah, 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 when will this get over? But when your turn comes, you have such a big story, and you realize the importance of your stories and other stories. And then you get joy when you see them heal. When somebody who does not have a child has a baby, and when you see that baby so healthy. I mean, my own baby was so healthy as well. Sangeeta, how much we worked with Dave. Not only that, but every time you work with somebody on somebody, because it's been such a long journey, you realize that everybody's joy is your joy, and that joy just keeps spreading, and Sesta keeps spreading that joy. It Sangeeta is like a soul sister to me. I mean, the first day I saw her, I knew her from another life. And it's amazing how connected I felt with her on day one. Like I felt like I knew her for years, and I was quite young myself to actually think like that. And before that, when somebody said past life regression, I was like, this is all rubbish. It can't be. But when you sit on that chair and you experience it, it's very, very different. It is so real. It is more real than your world today. It is more real than your present. It is so real, and it is so transformating, because as soon as that life is over and completed, and you go out to that light and you realize that you are light and you are nothing but that light. And there was, all my life at least, I thought that, oh, it is just me. Everything is just me. It's I don't have anybody else. And then you realize, oh, you're never alone. You have your angels, your ascended masters, your guides. You're actually just never alone. And there is such a sense of expansion in the learning itself. And there are so many words and so many terms. And I've always been Sangeeta's um, most question asking student, because I ask so many questions and I have never been denied an answer. It could be half an hour after class, it could be 2 hours after class, it could be in between class. And all those questions have been answered. Sometimes they're not even a part of the course, sometimes they're a part of another class. And, uh, she will still sit there and explain it to you till you are satisfied. And that is such a rare teaching capacity to have. It is such a rare teaching capacity to answer all the questions. How many of us actually have all our questions answered? How many of us feel like if we go to a teacher, she will answer all your questions, and if I have a question even today, I will call up Sangeeta for sure, wherever in the world she is. She could be with her daughter, she could be anywhere, and I will still pick up the phone and be like, I can't understand this. And I know for a fact that that answer will come. It will be answered. Either the creator will answer it through her, or she will answer it with her wisdom, because her wisdom is unparalleled. It is an ocean of wisdom. I'm still learning, and I can continue learning for the rest of my life. And I'm sure she has something new to teach me all the time. And whenever you go to Richa, she will, she, she will ask you questions and get to the point instantly. Okay, and I tell you that is so overwhelming at times, because you're like, oh, this problem does not have a solution, and you're like, wait a minute, and Richa will show you the mirror instantly. And I think it is such a beautiful thing that somebody else can show you a mirror. It's amazing how somebody else knows a little more about your life than you do, and somebody can see something which is beyond you. And now when I attend her class, or taking up healings or whatever, you can just see through the person, right? Uh, you're being able to tell the problem, you're being able to tell the solution. And it is amazing, because when you're bringing up a family, or you're bringing up an organization, or you're bringing up anything, what I have realized is that if you are healed, if you are complete, you can spread that joy around everybody else so much more. Or else you are just constantly, you know uh, throwing your emotional garbage onto everybody else. And as soon as you clear yourself up, every part of your life suddenly starts healing. And yeah, there will be problems in life. Life doesn't come without problems. Or at least, there will be circumstances and situations that come, but you will have the power, the tools to heal yourself and people around you. And you will be there with your wisdom, telling life, hey, you know what? You give me an opportunity to show that I can come out of this. And I think that is such a big tool, to be able to come out of a situation smiling. And you could have million of problems, but when you know that you can face them, and if you can't, call Sangeeta, she'll help you face them for sure. you know she is 911 that way. Right? But at the same time, she empowers you enough to you know face the problems yourself. You could have problems at the core level, the history level, the genetic level, whichever level. And to understand that your mind is such a complicated thing. you know it has so many layers. And to explain mind in such an easy format that you can actually start accessing your own mind, and understanding that your subconscious can be changed. It is not something that is written in black and white and can never change. It's not like that. It can be changed. And you have the power to change it. There is nobody else who can change it, actually. It is only you. That is such an empowering thought, just to be able to pull yourself together and make your own changes, not throwing it on the situation, or not throwing it on your husband or your children or your parents, that, oh, my father could have put me in a better school, oh, this one. You stop blaming everybody. You take that responsibility of your life on yourself, and you say, hey, if this has happened to me, there's something that I need to change. And every time you make that small change, it brings a huge shift in your bigger picture, and that small change in any one area will improve all your areas of your life. And when Sangeeta starts her downloads, I'm like, oh my God, this is going to weave every single area of my life, and knowing her as a person, not only the first thing that she taught me was stop trying, start doing it, stop saying the word try, and I still remember that so vividly, and all the time behind my mind when I tell myself, can I do this or not? So I tell myself, hey, either I try to do it or I do it, and then I happen to do it. And then even if it doesn't work out, I know I have given my 100%, and then I have no regrets after that. So, thank you, Sangeeta, so much for teaching me these beautiful values. Even the idea of just blessing your food, blessing your money, blessing everybody around you, blessing yourself, it is so empowering to realize that blessing is a power that is not only given to gods, it is given to humans as well. And that we are just that spark of that divine, the fact that the subconscious is constantly getting you into a sabotaging belief, or it could be anger, it could be your own resentment, but as soon as you take charge and believe in that light within you, that light starts spreading. It's amazing. And that you have that light, that itself brings me to joy, to happiness all the time. And I remember I used to also keep my name Himali Thakkar, my maiden name. And it was just Sangeeta who said, your name is Himali Shah, and I had to change my passport, I had to change my documents, I had to change so much more. But just that realization of who you are, of not running away from who you are, I have learned a lot and a lot and a lot from Cesta. There are so many aha moments when you are at Cesta all the time. You're like, really? This is true? Like, can this be? And, uh, you know, every time you change that thought, you see instant results. And, when you heal people, when they tell you, oh, my brother called after 9 years, my this part got healed, it had never been healed. I remember I was sitting up at Souk having dinner, and my best friend had a pain in her uh, groin area, which could not get resolved in like 5-6 years. I gave her healing while eating dinner, and she was completely healed. And she still thanks me for it. These are such small things, but there are just so many incidents, from my daughter to the rainbow class to being Sangeeta's golden child, maybe, because I see so much of Sangeeta in her. And, from my son being who he is today, from everybody around me, it created a positive circle in my life. Cesta is a family, from Sangeeta's mother, who's my favorite person in the world, to Richa, of course, to Sangeeta, to everybody in the Cesta family that I have met, has always been nurturing, always been full of joy, bliss, happiness, and they understand you. You can actually tell your worst and they will still be okay with it. And, we can't do that in the world outside. And, that acceptance is not there. You feel accepted. It's actually coming back home. It's actually coming back and relaxing and being whom you are. And you can go there in your pajamas and, finish off with all your problems and come home as a happier, healthier human being and take the world on. You know, it is also very, very, nice to know that the creator is full of love and compassion. It is not punishing in nature, which is what I learned first at Cesta. That the creator is forgiving, the creator has love, the creator has compassion, and so do all the people in Cesta. And when you are full of love, you can transform anything, and love is healing. I mean, really, why didn't I know this before? Why didn't I know that love can heal, compassion can heal? Uh, these are life-changing realities for me. These are virtues that I have gathered and understood probably after a few lifetimes, or maybe I knew it and I forgot it and I was reminded. I don't know which one is true. And obviously, I did something right to have this journey in my life, because Cesta means journey, and they have been there throughout my journey. I have never felt like I cannot pick up a phone, or you know not be heard, or even if I just leave a message, I know it will be answered. And when you work on Sangeeta or Richa, in class or otherwise, and they will never behave like, oh, this one doesn't know nothing. I mean, even in the beginning of class, they will take you as seriously, the messages as seriously as themselves, which I think is beautiful, because even now, Sangeeta knows that if somebody new is trying, like, I don't want to try anything new. I'm happy with where I am. They will not do that. They will appreciate who you are, bloom from where you are, pick you up from where you are. And I think these are such great qualities as teachers. It is amazing. And thank you so much for having this beautiful, beautiful life. I would like to say it in Sanskrit to end it with Dhanyoham, 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 Aham Dhanyo. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so very much. I can go on for about an hour or two and have so many stories to tell that it is very difficult to have it in this. And I have a huge thank you note which I had written, which I've said nothing about. But I'm sure Sangeeta will give us another opportunity to thank her again.
No,
Thank you, Sangeeta, and thank you, Richa.
definitely bring you back, Himali, with all those stories, because you actually have some really stunning stories to share. But she is one student where I can say she's not the only student, her entire family has been. And the youngest one is her third child, her son, which right from the time he was in the womb, he used to communicate with us and probably tell us or teach us that what you are doing in healing, you require to do something more. And even like from that time, like I got to know that I can communicate to the baby in the womb, and the baby will give me all the messages, and that baby was the one giving all the messages. And I even
Yeah.
today don't remember, she was in New York and her husband called up and said, Sangeeta, scan and tell me, is she pregnant? And I said, you don't you have a gynec or test? It is so easy. Why did you call me to ask if she's pregnant? And he's like, no, 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 you have to tell her. I said, I don't know. He said, no, I know you know it. You have to tell me whether she's pregnant. And I remember how much her husband forced me. And then I was like, yeah, I see a Krishna entering. And she had the two daughters, and then this was the third baby boy who came. And this child we always called the rainbow child who always spoke. And as she mentioned, her 8-year-old daughter came to learn Theta Healing, and she could connect, she could heal people, she could, yeah, she was one of my favorite students, and she is still one of my favorite students. I
I still
normally don't.
remember how she told us the entire Samudra Manthan, and I was like,
I mean,
I was,
I don't normally tell my students, so this one is my favorite. So this 8-year-old remained my favorite because she is like, oh, but I want to heal this part of the world. Oh, but I want to change the color of the cornea. No, but Auntie, I want to do that. But Auntie, I can connect to the law of music. And she could do beyond books. So there are absolutely like wonderful stories. But currently, with the shortage of time, we
I
are
know.
like, we'll move towards Pooja because she has the story which will, I think, take like, you guys will be shaken up to listen to all. Emali, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
We'll bring Pooja Parekh and beyond words for me to describe anything. There are times we as teachers are healing people, we think we are teaching them, but you realize later that what your experiences can teach you. And to believe in miracles, to witness miracles happening in front of you. And she is the one where I witnessed miracles happening, and that to believe again in creator, and they reinforce that belief in the creator in us, that no, this is not a myth. oh, this is not a bookish knowledge we are teaching. This actually happens because, oh my God, this actually happened. So she is the one who has witnessed those miracles. And I mean, more than she saying me thank you first, I will say thank you to her for allowing me or Cesta or each one of us, Richa, to be able to witness those changes in her. Pooja, platform is all yours.
Hi guys, ma'am. Thank you for everything. I mean, I know we've already crossed 9:35, so I will come straight on to the journey part. I mean, somewhere I started my journey in 2013. That was around, I mean, around that time I was very much busy with my work, but somewhere I could sense my incompleteness because I had issues with my ovaries where the gynac was like the ovaries are not regenerating eggs, so I used to not get my menstrual cycles in a normal way, and I was on the hormone supplement for since teenage basically. And somewhere when I had a discussion with my gynecologist, and she said, "No, you have to be on the hormone supplements for the rest of your life." And I was like, "No, this doesn't resonate me. How can I be on something which my body is not producing for the rest of my life?" So somewhere during my college days only, I said, "No, it doesn't resonate me," so I stopped it. And then I was very much occupied with my work and doing whatever I felt is fair for me at that stage of time. And then suddenly I was like, okay, I mean, I'm done with my education, I'm done with my job, but there is something which I have always kept aside and I need to work on it. So I was like, from one of my sources, it was Himali's father's information that I got from my uncle that he had some kidney stone surgery, and with Sangeeta's healing, the kidney stones, the surgery could be avoided. And I was like, oh, there's something beyond. I mean, if the doctors have identified something, and with healing, the stones actually have gone out of the system, and the surgery could be avoided. And that's where I thought I should connect with her. And I was on my way to Surat. I called her up in the train. The network was disconnecting, and I mean, working in corporates and all, I was like, can you send me what is exactly Theta Healing, how it works, and some presentation, some profile and all. And she's like, okay, yeah. And then I waited for it. Can we keep the other person mute because it's actually disturbing? Uh,
Yeah.
Pooja, you're on mute.
am I audible now?
Yeah.
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 I think we have someone else who's not on mute, and the background noise is fairly audible. Yeah. So, that's how the first time I entered into Cesta, I had no clue about what is it, how is it, anything. The first session, being an architect, we work on computers like hours and hours. I always had severe pain on my right side. That first session, I still remember 1 hour session. She did something. I still don't know what she did. She did pass healing, and that shoulder pain till now it's not back. I still work number of hours on computer. It's 2013. Today we are on 2020, but the pain is completely gone. No doubt. She worked on the emotional side. She worked on the physical side. She worked on all the aspects, and in that 1 hour, it was like out of my system forever. So coming back to the journey of the main thing wherein I entered into Cesta, and so the ovaries were not functioning. The gynaec said you have to be on the hormone supplement the rest of your life, which I was not honestly taking. My bones were showing start of osteoporosis. So I was like, okay, what do I do about all these things? And that's where the journey started with Cesta. I opted for sessions. initially in the start of the sessions, ma'am was like, why don't you even get into the workshops? Because workshops will help you to understand the whole science better. And once you understand the science, you yourself can evaluate your own situation, because then you have the tools in your hand. And that's how we both jointly, I mean, I understanding the science, looking into every aspect of my life. Okay, this is where the concern is. This is where I'm fearful. This is what keeps emotionally draining me down. Because in a session in that 1 hour, how much can you open up? I mean, the more you analyze yourself, you can work on your own self, and you can take help from the other person. And that's how it happened. And I remember by the books, um, we did some research on internet, and by the book, we found out which DNA actually operates on the ovary, the coding number, and even by the Theta Healing books, that DNA strand can be regenerated, and you can regenerate the DNA. So one of the sessions, he did that. And after the session, it was like he intuitively we connected to the creator, and we asked like, when can we see the result of it? And we got like 2 months down the line. And honestly, 2 months down the line, I went to the gynac, we got the sonography done, and the ovary sizes are I has increased in a very visible way. The gynac was also like, what are you doing? Are you on hormone supplements? And she knew I'm not the one who's taking hormone supplements. So she was like, what are you doing? And I explained her, and she had next appointment. She like, do what you are doing. It's going well. She's not even interested in knowing it, because she had a lot of patients waiting outside. But I mean, that was the miracle that we experienced, that believe, have faith, surrender, and let the divine unfold and help you for all the concerns that you are going through, basically. And obviously, the issues are not what it's somewhere we've manifested it in some way, in some life that we carry. And the minute you resolve on it, and you tap on it, and you work on it, I mean, you are bound to see the result of. I mean, that's what I learned from the whole this was like first 1.5 years of my sister journey. So like post that, um I mean, I'm almost on the verge of completion of my graduation with Cesta. I mean, I'm left with 2 courses, but I took step by step, because being with work also, I mean, it's managing times and all. But every time when I have entered into a Cesta, into a workshop, there is something which has changed in me, and I can see that in my health, in my confidence, in my work, in my relationship, in understanding situations, and understanding people, and understanding my own self, the way I used to operate before and the way I operate now. It's like I know my same family, my says like, oh, you've changed a lot, and they feel that it's after marriage, but it's not after marriage. It's overall the way every step I worked on it. I mean, along with Cesta, because Sangeeta had a lot of the concepts that she tells us, and the way she connects all the modalities that she's learned and she offers us, like Theta, B, hypnosis, inner child, past life. I mean, it's not easy to have. I mean, only if you have a thorough knowledge of each modality, then only it's possible to teach your students of how to work with any situation with all the modalities. And the best part is the B modality, that's come out of so much of experience and so much of working that she's done with number of clients. That's I feel is the most simplest and the most easiest tool to work. And the best part is it can be clubbed and combined with any healing modality. And I mean, I'll tell you the simplest example that I've experienced. I mean, 2 more experiences. One is um, from Wayanad to Bangalore. We were going back in car. It was 4 of us, me, my husband, my in-laws, and the car broke. at the petrol pump, the local mechanic said, "Sir, गाड़ी park कर दो, आगे गाड़ी नहीं जाएगा." We told our in-laws, "Go and sit, have a coffee. We'll figure out. We'll call one more mechanic." And I told my husband, "Wait for 10 minutes. Let me pass healing to the car." And within 5 minutes, the car started. And we reached Bangalore. We showed it to the mechanic there. He said, "Oh, there's no issue with the car. What happened? Why are you complaining?" And till today, even if the car shows little problem, Vaibhav, my husband would be like, "Vaibhav, can you just pass healing, because I think car is showing." I'm like, I'm not a car mechanic. But yes, I mean, the reason I told you is like, it's not only for the complicated problems that you have in your life, whether it's a relationship, whether any problem that you face. I mean, that total surrender and faith in the modality, in the creator, and what you have learned can shift energies of any object. May it be a book, may it be a car, may it be medical problem, may it be your career, anything. And I can't thank Sasta for teaching us in a way that we can apply it on our day-to-day life. Because though I have learned so much, I don't practice as a healer. My full practice is being an architect. I'm fully occupied, but still, I mean, learning something to become a healer is one thing, but learning something to apply it in your daily life, and how to bring those changes in a way that you experience abundance in all aspects of your life. You can cope up with any situation with, you have a right approach towards the situation, how, whether to react, whether to, how to handle it. I mean, it's not possible with Cesta. I mean, it's not possible without Cesta. I could have come up to this level. Is what I I mean, I would like to right now end it up, because the due respect to the time of all of yours. I mean, this is what has is my journey with Sesta, and I can only tell you one thing: the way they are always there as a pillar behind you, and the way they teach you the morality and mixing up of the morality and the confidence that comes into you. It's only with Sangeeta and Gacha at Sesta we can get this. Nowhere else is what I is my own belief.
I think
So,
that
ma'am, thank you very much for always being there for us, pushing us to trust our own self, and evolving our own self, and always being there for us anytime, anywhere, in any part of the world you are there, but you are always there for us. I mean, love you for everything that you have taught us, and love you for all the things that you have given us, always unconditional. Thank
thank
you,
you.
ma'am.
Thank you. In fact, thank you for letting us believe in miracles. And it's late, but just one last sentence, that the genetic work. So Pooja has been one person on whom, not only for the ovary regeneration, but for her eyes, we had done the genetic work with the help of knowing the right genetic code. And there are times we don't know the code. And this, so there are many aspects of it, which of the healing, where you feel that, does that really exist? Does that work or not? And we have witnessed miracles unfolding. So very quickly doing and closing today's session with a download, that would you all like to know what it feels like to believe in miracles, and to know that miracles does happen, and you are open and receptive for miracles to happen. You understand miracles to creator's definition and perspective of the seventh plane of creator of all that is, and you know how to. It is safe, it is possible. You are deserving to have a miraculous life, and to know that I live my daily life with miracles. I am a living miracle myself, into every cell, fiber, tissue, molecule of your body. And would you like to know the transition of your life to happen absolutely beautifully, and letting the divine guide you through the transition, and let that transition happen in the most beautiful way for you, and that it's possible into every cell, fiber, tissue, molecule of your body, every area of your life, at all the four level of your beliefs. Be your highest and best in the highest and best possible way for each one. If I have the permission, please say yes, creator of all that is. It is commanded to instill these feelings into each one who is ready for it, who says yes right now and later for the highest and best in the highest and best possible way. Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone, with lots and lots of gratitude for sharing your journey on the platform and letting people know how the transition happens. See you all tomorrow, 9 o'clock. Thank you. Thank you for being there.